him or he had died or what, but has whipped, but but like I said, and that's I know I remember a story that talked about one Christmas, and about this time they got in a fight over tangerines. One tangerine left. They got in a fight over it. Well, the youngest one got a 22, started shooting after him. The others had hid behind this old wrecked car. They said directly, "Here come this tangerine flying over the car." I said, "You can have it," because I think it was just mushed by then. But but like I said, they took up for each other though, and that's a brother's keeper, really, in a way. They were, like I said, like you said, got beat up. They fought like cats and dogs, but you better not fight one and whip them. You better just go ahead and lay down and take it. But like I said, it conveys the attitude of contempt and neglect. Like I said, it characterizes many in society today. It's the same as when God asked Adam, "Where are you?" God knew where he was. And God, when he asked Cain, "Where's your brother?" he knew where Abel was. But he wanted him an answer. He wanted an answer. It's in there times that, and maybe can't think of a real example, but if we've been asked by our parents or mother or daddy about something, about question, and they know the answer when we before they ask, but they're just testing us, I guess, or and so like God knew the answer. God knew where Abel was, but God heard a voice that no human ear could hear. As David describes in Psalm 139, no one can hide an act or even a thought from the heart of God. That's kind of scary in a way. It's kind of that's humbling that there's nothing hidden from God. Sometimes we may think we're hiding it from man and others, but we're not from God. We can't hide it from God. But where was okay? Each gave from the produce of his individual labors, and be a source of cursing. It could be a source of cursing rather than blessing by not producing a harvest for Cain. Since he was a tiller of the ground in verse 2, the sentence God placed on Cain the sentence God placed on Cain was there no place to which he could travel to escape the impact of this curse. In other words, just like repeating that, was it verse what? I forgot. I lost my place. No one can hide. Psalm 139. No one can hide or even act or even a thought from the heart of God. Cain couldn't hide. He couldn't hide his sin. We can't hide ours. So he would be forced to wander as a vagrant and a wanderer and fend for himself the best he could. So I'm going to read now verses 13 through 15.
But Cain answered the Lord, "My punishment is too great to bear. Since you are banishing me today from the face of the earth, I must hide from your presence and become a restless wanderer on the earth. Whoever finds me will kill me." Then the Lord replied to him, "In that case, whoever kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." And he placed a mark on Cain so that whoever found him would not kill him.
Cain complained to God, "I can't handle this. I can't handle this punishment." It didn't set too well with him. But note, Adam didn't offer any protest when God pronounced his punishment. Cain complained about the severity of his sentence. "All I did was kill my brother." You know, yeah, no remorse. This is just more than I can bear. Yeah, yeah, he still is. No, he didn't want to be killed. He seemed to believe he could be cut off or hid from God's presence and care, but did not, but was not true, as Cain would soon learn. "God, I have sinned against you, but don't stop caring for me." How many times have we prayed that prayer? God, don't, I've sinned against you, but, I still want your blessings. Sounds kind of selfish, doesn't it, on Cain's part here? Later, God declared that death was appropriate penalty for murder. And I was going to add, let me turn right quick. Well, I want to read that Exodus, or did I give that to someone to read? Exodus 21:12. Let me read that right quick. If I can get there. My pages don't want to turn sometimes. Well, hang with me. Probably the wrong one. Exodus 21:12. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. That's pretty plain, isn't it? So, but Cain said, "Oh, like I said, all I did was kill my brother. I can't handle that. Somebody's liable to kill me." Thus, Cain's punishment was actually less severe than it could have been. God could have taken his life.
Yeah, but can you imagine being taken from God's presence?
Oh gosh.
From God's presence?
Yes. Well, and you brought up a good point. That's kind of a picture of hell, isn't it?
Right.
Being separate from God's presence. Yes. Yes, but another concern expressed by Cain was the fear that he himself would be slain by an act of vengeance. Now, we should keep in mind that all persons on earth at this time were members of the same family. Although the numbers of cousins, nephews, etc., already could have numbered into hundreds or even thousands. Now, don't ask me to explain that. It happened. It happened. Yeah, I don't know. That's above my pay scale. But we should, like I said, we don't know. Well, like I've said, even in where was it? Eve knew of Cain's deeds in verse 25. We don't know how she learned of it that he killed his brother, and we can assume that everyone else knew as well, because that's the reason he was fearful. He's going to be killed. So Cain's fears were well grounded. We know how families can feud and even escalate into life or lives being taken. We understand that. We saw it was just happening in the news. Several years ago, I was inspecting on a construction job, and one Monday morning, the contractor came up to me and told me, he said, "You won't see," and called him by name, "you won't see him on the job any longer. He got in an argument with his brother and stabbed him, killed him." And this guy was a well-mannered, quiet, but you never know. And like I said, I said, I just can't believe it, and I've visited with him, at times, we're talking to him, and like I said, he was respectful and nice, but stabbed his brother to death. So you don't ever know. But the Lord assured Cain he would protect him, even though he didn't deserve it. How many times we don't deserve it, that he protects us? No matter what we may do, we are under God's protection. God promised vengeance will be taken on whoever kills Cain sevenfold, or 7 times 7, 7 times greater. Commentators speculate about the meaning of a mark or sign on upon Cain. It's best rendered as for the sake of. He put a mark on him for the sake of Cain. Now the idea is probably we don't know. It's speculated it probably wasn't a mark placed on his body, but that the sign was given for Cain's sake, either to indicate God's displeasure on anyone who would try to kill him, or warn Cain if someone's seeking to take his life. In other words, I don't think they put a mark on his head. I don't know. We don't know. Some say he did, but we don't know. But our lesson ends, but I want to go a little further. Our lesson ends in verse 15, but I want to read 16 because I think that kind of brings an end to it. And somebody go back to 4:16 and read it.
So Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden.
East of Eden. That's there. Nod means wandering. And it was fitting location since Cain had been sentenced to live as a wanderer. There, Cain established a family line. 6 generations, including the godless Lamech, are mentioned in verse 17 through 24. However, it was not until Adam and Eve had Seth, and he in turn begat Enos, the men began to call upon the name of the Lord. Not until then did they begin to call upon the name of the Lord. In reading this, and it brought back some memories here, but in reading these last verses, I'm reminded, how many have read the book or saw the movie East of Eden with John Steinbeck? Saw the movie, yeah. I read the book, but it's been years ago. But it's Steinbeck, the author, grew up an Episcopal, but some say he was an agnostic, a person who is not committed to believing in either the existence or the non-existence of God. Now, but he had knowledge of Scripture because they said he inserted not maybe Scripture, but based some of his writings on Scripture. And so he had the knowledge of Scripture because indirectly in his writings. So as in the book East of Eden, 2 brothers were at opposites. One was evil, the other one was good. One was favored over the other, or thought it was, but anyway, the evil one winds up beating his other brother and leaves him for dead. But not like Abel, the brother lives. So hence the name East of Eden. They went East of Eden. And I thought that's kind of in the time, but and it shows the conflict between family, the 2 brothers, and the jealousy and the conflict and everything. And I think he took that from Adam and Eve and to write the story. Got a few minutes. Any comments? Well, I look at it too. We've been, how many chances have we been given? Yes, a bunch. and then guilty of saying, well, God, don't be so hard on me. You know, I didn't commit that great a sin. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. Yeah, just one. So let me slide this time. Yes, right, everybody. Exactly. Yes. I've heard some say, well, if that was me in the garden, I wouldn't have ate of that fruit. I said, yes, you would. So, but it's like I said, this is I think some great lesson text, great learning lessons in our learning for ourselves. You know, how would we handle it? We've all let jealousy get the best of us at times. Of course, like I said, we didn't try to kill anybody or wish somebody dead. I hope we didn't. But I'm reminded when I was working in Sanderson, this one girl they were in school. I think she was younger than him, but anyway, we were up at the track one day, and I was walking some of them high school kids, and he got in his pickup and took off and left his sister there to walk home. She said, "I hope he has a wreck and kills him," because he left her. Well, I'm sure she didn't mean it, but but who knows? What if it had a wreck and got killed? Yeah.
I like how you started. You get kind of callous to these murders.
Sure.
It's not right. And then his warning, like Holly was saying, it is the second death what you need to be concerned
Sure.
about. The wandering eternal separation
Yes.
from God.
Mm-hmm.
Only Jesus can cover our sins.
Yes. Yeah.
You should never get callous to that.
And look at what happened to his family. None of them followed God, and so it's and it just we think, well,
You said he had the chance.
he had the chance. Yes, God gave him a chance, and like I said, he know how many chances he's given us, and he still could have turned back to God.
You know, a lot of times I think we have a problem with thinking that life is existence and death is non-existence. Right. But
Yeah.
that's not actually what the Bible teaches.
Right.
Life is existence with God.
Right. Exactly.
Death is existence without God.
Yes. Yes. That's so true. Yes. But there's many, like I said, there's many life lessons in these verses of scriptures here too. Many for us. So,
our like younger generation, so many people now who are raised in Christian homes are turning away from God.
Mm-hmm.
There's this the questioning. They're
Yes.
that's I don't know. They're just they blame it on the way they were raised
Mhm.
or that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Yes, it is.
Because it's your job, and like I have a big wake up call because I'm raising kids the second time. I raised 3 kids into adulthood, and now I'm doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Amelia this morning, and like she's so shocked to find out because she's still learning.
Mm-hmm.
She's so shocked to find out that not everybody has Jesus in their heart.
Right.
That's just the innocence of a child. But
Mm-hmm.
she's 7 and she's getting older, and I'm trying to let her know what
Mhm.
she's going to come up against in the world, and
Yeah.
who she's going to be around, and what
Yeah.
she's going to see, and trying to explain it to her why
Yeah.
the kids don't, or we grown-ups don't. It's
Right.
it's unfortunately, like she's saying, more and more kids don't believe that.
Oh, I know. I know. I was so impressed with her the other day. Of course, we're up there and leading the music. I can see everything. She had that book and she was singing, just singing aloud, and that just blessed me. This is it. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you raise our kids up, and I told Amelia this morning. I told her I was like, we get free will to choose.
Yeah.
Raise our children into adulthood, and it
Right.
doesn't mean that they got a free pass.
Yeah.
They have to carry that on their own. And they
That's
have to
true.
go forward. So
That's
even
true.
if you were really great at Sunday school
Mm.
when you were 8, you still have that choice to choose your whole life.
Sure. That's true. Well, Ken is showing me his watch, so we better close. JC, would you close for us, please?
Father, thank you this morning, Father, for allowing us to be in this house this morning, Father, and study a portion of the word. Father, I just thank you so much for the past year that we've
Yes, Lord.